right, just checking my sound. Let's see. Okay, so welcome to the Daily Destiny Download. I'm Sinta Danu. I am a professional psychic and astrologer with over 16 years of experience and over 8 years owning my own business. So today what we're going to do is what I call the Daily Destiny Download, a daily cosmic reset for mind, body, and spirit. So the intention of this stream is that you either show up to this stream in person or you can watch it later, and we ground and really connect to the energies of the planets and ground that energy into the earth, as well as allowing that to become a space where we can download information about our cosmic destiny, get any information on how we need to adjust and change course a little bit, and then look into the upcoming astrology, right? At least for the next day. And if you watch this the day after that, still works fine. Usually the moon, which is mostly what we're focusing on for the astrological attunement, is usually in the same sign for about like 2.5 days anyway. So even if you watch this the next day, it should work for you. Now let's see. So today is January 10th, right? It's a Friday. I had to take a little break from the stream because we were having some tech issues and some scheduling errors, so that had to get solved first, unfortunately. But I'm here today, and I'm super excited. I do have an announcement that I will be doing the Wolf Moon Market that Conjunct is doing tomorrow. So that information is in the comments. So definitely check out the comments to see Conjunct's page on the Moon Market so you can see the times and dates and all that kind of stuff for the moon market stuff. But it's going to be tomorrow. It's going to be from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. So I'm going to be doing my readings there. So I'm going to be offering readings at my event price, which is considerably cheaper than my regular pricing. So definitely check that out because you'll get a good deal if you come see me there. And you can schedule for that ahead of time, which I'm actually going to pop some of my other links in the comments as well. So let me see. Where is my event scheduling link? It should be over here. Okay, so my regular scheduling link is already there, but the event scheduling link, if you want to schedule to see me at Crayons Art tomorrow for January 11th, anywhere between 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. I'm going to pop that link below as well. I just have to grab it real quick. Unfortunately, I couldn't fit all my links into the bottom part, or I would have posted it already before the stream started. Here we go. Okay, so this is the link for booking me for events. So this isn't my event pricing. So tomorrow I'm going to be doing readings for $30, right? So that's a great rate. It's considerably cheaper than the readings I normally do because these are really quick, to the point, get in, get out kind of readings. Now, those are $30 if you use the, I believe it's the Price 3 coupon. So that should be, just type in Price 3, capitalize the P. And that's when you get to the pricing page, which I believe it sends you a link to that in your email after you book. So this is just to schedule it. You can also pay in person, but I prefer people pay ahead of time so that I know that they're really going to show up for their readings. These are non-refundable though. So if you pay upfront and you don't show up for your reading, like, I'll hold your spot, but if you don't show up, like, you're not going to get your money back because I don't like wasting my time. Not sorry. But I'm also going to be offering free healings. So if you want to just sign up and not pay for reading and just sign up for like a quick free healing, you can do that at that same link because this is just for scheduling. So definitely check that out because I am definitely trying to offer more healings. That's part of what we're going to be doing today with the astrological attunement. This is an astrology healing. This is an astrology energy healing specifically. And in groups, I do it as like a meditation. It's a little bit different when we actually do it in person, one-on-one, because I have my crystals and other things, and so it's a little fancier in person than over, Facebook Live. So let's see, and it's more personal because I'm going to be doing like personal one-on-one healings at the fair tomorrow, as well as doing tarot and astrology readings. So if you're looking for some really personalized guidance, definitely see me there tomorrow. And let's see. So that's my spiel about that. There are lots of fun things coming up, and I'll try to keep you guys as updated as I can as they're coming up. But event season is right around the corner. It starts in March, but we do have a couple fairs before then. These ones, though, are kind of rare. Like the Conjunct market is once a month. So if you want to get a reading at like a really reasonable price, definitely come see me at the moon markets. They happen once a month. I try to get in every month, and you can schedule them ahead of time to hold your spot. So definitely do that. And outside of those, though, I won't be doing really any other events aside from maybe doing some workshops and other stuff. So I won't be going to an event where I'm going to be doing my event pricing where you can get readings for that rate for at least probably until March. So there's going to be some time until that comes. But I might do a couple fun workshops, maybe some free ones, maybe some paid ones. We'll see as the year goes on. And I am going to be doing my stellar course after event season. So if you want to learn more about astrology, especially if you already know a good deal about astrology, like that you've got the basics covered, I would definitely recommend the stellar course. If you don't have the bases covered, check out the astrology basics course, because this will really help you to get a really good understanding of astrology and how to read your birth chart and how to read other people's charts and really get you started on that journey. Now, if you feel like you're really competent at that already, and honestly, it takes some time to really get competent at it, to be truthful. As a professional astrology, it takes years learning by yourself to get really competent with this. But I would suggest taking the astrology basics course unless you're really confident in your skills. Like, if you're not ready to go out and do professional readings in astrology, but you want to know more about it, take the astrology basics course. It has a lot of information that even like people who've been doing astrology for years have not gathered and have not learned because it's not easily accessible, right? So definitely check out the astrology basics course. That is a really great course. It's 6 classes. The first one you can get for free, and I don't know if I have my sign up link for that in the comments, the free version, but I will be setting that up at some point. But definitely check out the astrology basics course. At the very least, you can go check out the course. The link is in the comments, and for YouTube, I'll put it in the description. Okay, so I've spent enough time on announcements, but definitely go check out all the stuff. Like, there's all kinds of good stuff going on, events, etc. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an astrological attunement. So we're going to do basically a guided meditation where we do some energy healing and we ground all the energies that are present in the sky right now, at least the ones that are really important. So what I'm going to have you do is first I'm going to have you close your eyes, okay? And I'm going to have you take a couple deep breaths. So deep breath in, deep breath out, deep breath in, deep breath out, deep breath in, deep breath out. So I want you to start with just kind of consciously starting to relax your body, ground that energy a little bit, releasing tension, anxiety, any feelings of stress or restlessness. We're going to try to just kind of let those go and consciously relax the body. And if you're struggling with that, this is going to help as we go along. So next, I'm going to have you really focus in on your roots. So really focus in on seeing and visualizing roots coming from your feet and going deep into the earth. And from there, you're going to really visualize them going deeper and deeper and deeper until they go to the center of the earth. And you're going to see like a metal core at the center of the earth. And you're going to see those roots wrap around this core. Now, I like to imagine kind of like an obsidian core because it's very transformative. Obsidian absorbs negative energy and transforms it to positive energy. So you're going to feel your roots wrap around that core, right? Now, you can also imagine something like hematite that's also, it's not a stone, but it's a metal that transforms that same negative energy into positive energy. It's also very protective. So either way, imagine this core of the earth that your roots are wrapping around it. And then I want you to feel anything that's out of alignment, any energy that doesn't belong to you, leaving and exiting your body, your chakras, your aura, and exiting through the body, through the legs, into the feet, down into those roots that you've created, and going all the way down to the core of the earth where it can be transformed. Now you can see this a variety of ways. You could see little flames or fireflies or anything that really sparks this essence of renewal, phoenix feathers, etc. This is a beautiful way to see all that energy that you're needing to let go transformed and released back into the world in a neutral, positive way, right? So we're going to release all that stuck energy and just empty ourselves, right? And continue deep breathing, whatever is comfortable, while we're going through this process. So now that you've grounded into the earth, we're going to pull up that grounded earth energy up through the chakras. So first, you're going to visualize whatever that earth energy represents to you. It could be like black, dark feminine, very fertile soil. And that could be kind of the visual and the color that you're seeing, that you're pulling up. Or like a deep, muddy red that's, like a tree red, that deep brown with those reddish hues. Or it could just be like a dark brown that you find very comforting, or anything that really represents that earthy energy that you want to pull up, whatever comes to you first of mind or feels the most comfortable. I want you to imagine that energy entering through those roots and being pulled up by those roots up into your feet, up through your legs, and up to your root chakra. So the root chakra is normally red. This is a chakra of security, stability, of safety, right? These are our primal needs and instincts. And we're going to fill the root chakra with the color red and this deep, earthy energy, really stabilizing our ability to feel safe and secure, really allowing the earth to support our foundation on an emotional level, right? So we're really going to key in on that feeling stable, feeling solid, feeling grounded here, because that's going to be what we build upon to the other chakras as well. Now, I'm going to have you visualize bringing that energy up into the sacral chakra. So this chakra is normally associated with the color orange. This is the chakra that has to do with pleasure, with creativity, with connecting with other people. Like, this is very creative feminine energy usually in this chakra, or at least that's how I like to imagine it. But that very ability to connect and create with others from this primal place. All right, and we're going to fill that chakra with orange light and these feelings of security, specifically towards our ability to create and to have and form these healthy relationships and connections, and having a really stable, healthy connection to pleasure, right? And then we're going to pull that energy up higher, up into the solar plexus. Now, this chakra is usually yellow. It has more to do with our willpower, our sense of self, our ability to kind of stand up for ourselves a little bit and maintain a sense of self in our relationships. So this has a lot to do with our confidence. Now, we're going to see this chakra filled with yellow light and feelings of security in our self-confidence and our ability to, stand up for ourselves, assert ourselves in situations. This is also a very creative chakra as well, but definitely leaning into those feelings of confidence and a security in our self-expression, right? Let's see. And then we're going to pull that energy up into the heart chakra. So this chakra is in the center of the chest. This chakra is normally associated with the color green. So we're going to see the heart chakra fill with that green light and these feelings of security. Now, this is the chakra that has to do with giving and receiving, with love and relationships on an emotional level, on a deep spiritual bonding level. So this chakra we're going to fill with security in giving and receiving that love that we all desire, and really allowing those feelings of support from the earth in terms of our emotions, right? Really feeling supported and nurtured by the earth in this moment in this chakra. And then we're going to pull that energy up through into the throat chakra. And then we're going to fill this chakra with that blue light. This is usually associated with a very light blue, and this chakra has a lot to do with communication, being able to speak and express ourselves, especially verbally, to be able to kind of set boundaries and things of the like, but really be able to express ourselves and to connect with our voice. Now, we're going to fill this with that security around expressing ourselves, around being able to communicate with other people, around being able to talk and think and speak from a place of confidence and enlightenment, and really filling this chakra with security around this, right? And then we're going to bring all that energy up into the third eye. This is going to be the center of the forehead. The chakra is usually associated with like an indigo, like a deep blue, almost purple. And this chakra is very associated with our ability to visualize, to see into the future, to see with the mind's eye. So we're going to really fill this chakra up with that indigo color and security around our vision and our ability to receive visions of our future, information in a visual form, really connecting and tapping to our imagination and our ability to dream and receive downloads, all of that, right? This very visual side of ourselves, we're really going to fill that chakra with security around that. Right? And then we're going to pull this energy all the way up into the top of the head, into the crown chakra. Now, this chakra is normally associated with the color violet and our ability to connect to the divine, to divinity, to our higher self, right? So we're going to fill this chakra with that beautiful violet light and feelings of really feeling safe and secure in our connection to God and spirit, knowing that the information we were receiving is sacred and spiritual and right for us in that moment in time, but creating a lot of security in our ability to receive direct information from the divine. Now, I want you to see all of that earth energy exiting out the top of the head and going way, way up into the sky, going all the way through all the dimensions, all the way up through all the dimensions to the stars, and seeing them tie around the stars and connect that earth energy to the sky, right? So now we've created the first connection and cord between us, the earth, and the sky. And now we're going to pull down some more of that beautiful Gemini energy. But this is going to be very big, expansive Gemini energy, because Gemini, we have the moon in Gemini conjunct Jupiter in Gemini today, right around this time. So, deep breath. And I want you to visualize in the sky that beautiful Gemini energy of talking and communicating and connecting with other people and making these meaningful connections with the people in your community, being able to express yourself and to think and speak clearly, receiving lots and lots of information, and just all of those wonderful feelings of excitement, and might even be a little bit restless. So this might be part of why we've been struggling around a little bit. Geminis can be a little bit scattered. But we're going to take all that beautiful, intelligent, information-oriented Gemini energy, and we're going to pull it down through the dimensions from the stars down into the crown chakra. All right, and this is where you're going to receive those spiritual cosmic downloads around your cosmic destiny is into the crown chakra. So we're going to fill the crown chakra with that energy of divine information specifically, right? Receiving direct communication from the divine around what we need to know, especially knowledge that's going to help us expand, right? Because of Jupiter. And we're going to feel that come in and move down into the third eye chakra. And this is going to help us to see that vision, to get really clear, to have that clarity of vision around the information that we're receiving from the divine in order to expand ourselves beyond our limitations. Now we're going to feel that information move down deeper into the throat chakra. And here, this is where we're going to express and communicate this information to others in order to connect with others to make our vision real, right? And to expand our ability to express ourselves in a positive and authentic way. Then we're going to move that energy down deeper into the heart chakra, really filling up the heart chakra with knowledge that helps us connect to ourselves and others, knowledge that we are willing and able to receive right now in this moment that will help our hearts expand in a beautiful way. And then we're going to move that energy down into the solar plexus, right? Right under the rib cage. And this is where we're going to fill ourselves with the confidence in this information, feeling very confident and learning new skills and information that is going to allow us to be more confident, to have greater self-acceptance, and really see ourselves for who we are, and really igniting our willpower, our confidence, and our ability to kind of assert ourselves in the world, right? New information around that we are receiving into that chakra. And then we're going to move that energy down deeper into the sacral chakra. All right. This is where we're going to receive information about how to connect with others in a real, primal, deep way. Be able to receive information around how to have a healthy relationship with pleasure and with other people. And creating this beautiful connection to the joyful, primal parts of ourselves, and being able to expand our ability to handle pleasure, right, in a positive way, and really, really expanding that, right, receiving information around expansion in relationships and creating a healthy relationship to pleasure. And then we're going to move all that energy down into the root chakra, and here we're going to receive information on how to feel safe in our bodies, to expand our ability to feel safe in the world, and to ground ourselves in a healthy way on a regular basis, really expanding our stability and comfort in our foundations and in ourselves and in our physical bodies, really receiving that expansive download now, right, into the root chakra. And then we're going to have that energy move out through the legs, into the feet, through the root system you visualized earlier, deep, deep into the earth, wrapping itself around that core of the earth, and really grounding in that beautiful Moon in Gemini energy conjunct Jupiter, right? We're really grounding that in and really allowing it to expand and create really meaningful connections between us and other people, and really receiving all those divine downloads today. All right? And now I want you to feel what it feels like to be between worlds, All right? You're grounded deep into the earth. You're connected deep into the sky. You have stretched yourself between realms with this meditation. So feel that connection between all versions of yourself and all dimensions that you exist within as the multidimensional being that you are. And feel what it feels like to be connected to all parts of yourself in this moment. And now what I really want you to do is to focus that energy in on the heart chakra, because this is where we come back to center. Now that we are stretched between all realms and grounded in and also tapped into the higher realms, we come into our heart space to find that center where we can maintain this energy throughout the day. So that's where I want you to focus on the heart space. And I want you to ask yourself a question. So in this space where you are grounded, where you are centered, where you are focused, and you are in your heart space in a place of beauty and love and connection with all of the universe and all of yourself, what is one thing that will make you feel loved today in a way that will help you expand your consciousness? And really sit with that for a minute. And just let it drop in. Don't try to intellectualize it or think about it too hard. Just allow yourself to receive. What is the one thing I can do today that will make me feel loved and allow me to expand my consciousness? And deep breath in, deep breath out. And the last thing I want you to do is I want you to really focus on visualizing what that one thing is you need to do. See yourself doing it in your mind's eye. Feel in your heart what it feels like to choose to give yourself the love you need today. And give yourself what you need to grow. And really visualize yourself going through the process and feel deep into your heart what it feels like to choose you today. And then take one more deep breath in, out, and open your eyes. Okay. Whew. So now what we are going to do is we are going to move on to the realignment reading. So now that we are in our heart space and connected to all realms, becoming a living example of the tree of life, we are going to focus in on what we need to know today in order to take advantage of this energy and really ground it and expand. So I'm going to shuffle the deck, because I really like to go through this practice before I shuffle now. It really helps to ground all the energy and connect me to those higher realms, but still be grounded really well in order to give readings. Let's see. What does the universe want you to know today? Woo. It's also really important because I've seen a lot of people give readings, and a lot of the time the energy's a little wonky, hard to connect with. And so I really like to ground me and my client's energy in order to kind of get the best results for us. Because it's really hard to grow and heal when you're stressed, when you're focused on all the problems. But once you're grounded, and once you're in a safe place and you feel safe in your body, you can really receive this information, which is so important for being able to heal and grow. So let's see. What do you need to know today? How can we realign with the universe and take advantage of these beautiful energies in the sky right now? Let's see. something I really noticed, though, with the energies that I've been seeing, is I've been receiving a lot of information, a lot of downloads, especially about my belief system and the way that I operate. And this has been so helpful for me to be able to see myself fully. And so this is a really great time to tap into who you are and really receive this information about yourself that's going to help you to grow and evolve. Let's see. I personally love Jupiter energy. Jupiter in Gemini is bringing us so much information, so many blessings. Especially because it's 9 years, so. Alrighty. So I see that you are holding on to things really tightly. You're really grasping to keep the physical world in a place that is comfortable for you. Like, you're really holding on to money. You're really trying to hold really tightly, like white knuckles, security. And you're just overly focused on the physical world and security and all these like really physical money related situations, and maybe even relationships, especially family relationships. But you're really trying to white knuckle stuff right now. Like, you tend to be very attached to the physical world and to neglect the more spiritual side of things. At least that's where you are right now. And so this is a call to focus more on your emotional world. Here's the thing. When they do say that we create our own reality, I know that seems just, it's such a cliche. But it's a cliche for a reason. It's because it's true. People use it all the time because it's true. And the sad thing is they don't really teach us how to do this. But your emotional space is manifesting your reality. So when you're coming from this space of holding so tightly to the physical world, so tightly to money, so stressed about how the things in the physical world are appearing for you, you're creating more of that. Because you're coming from a place of scarcity, right? And so every decision you make is coming from a place of trying to hold on to money instead of receive, right? So stop trying to hold on to things, because you can't hold on to something and receive something else. So learning to let go and open your hands to the universe will really benefit you at this time. Oh, and you're so loved by the universe. Like, really, like, there are powerful forces influencing your life, looking out for you, making sure that you're taken care of. Like, you don't need to white knuckle things. You need to let go and let the universe help you. It's this need to control everything that's really hurting you. Oh, yep, that is exactly what's wrong. Because you're a master manifester. You are a master manifester. You're just manifesting the wrong stuff. You're manifesting on accident, not on purpose. You're creating a reality where you have to white knuckle things, where you have to try so hard, where you have to push. Like, you're creating a reality from this emotional state of maybe not feeling good enough, not feeling worthy, and then creating circumstances that align with it. But you can change the script any day. That's the key. Is when you change how you look at yourself and that self-image, and you change what your focus is on and what you're trying to create. When you focus more on that instead of what you don't have, things just start moving for you. Like, let me be real with you. So I didn't okay, so even though I'm a spiritual teacher and I'm super manifester, magic person, whatever, manifestation seemed like kind of BS to me a little bit. Because I didn't fully understand how it worked. I was like, whatever. Positive thinking doesn't work, but I could see how it could if you apply it, but if you're unlucky, that's not going to fix it. I was really doubtful. I tried the manifestation techniques, and I work a lot with magic and witchcraft, and so part of me was really skeptical about it for a really long time, because I'm like, this does not appear to be working. And it was because I didn't know how it worked. First of all, thinking positive and feeling positive are two completely different things. Thinking positive and feeling badly about yourself will not get you the results that you want. In fact, it's the way that you feel about yourself that creates your reality. So if you feel like you're undeserving, like you're sad and pathetic or whatever, you're going to create a reality that reflects that. And as soon as you start appreciating yourself for the human that you are and really value who you are, not for what you have, things start working. Like this year for me personally, I really started working on self-worth because I really struggled with that. And that's why my manifestations weren't working. And I realized that. I was still skeptical that they would work even if I did that. But I was like, at least if I could take myself from being the person who's standing out in my way and take myself out of the way, like on a subconscious level, because like if you don't value yourself, scientifically you will self-sabotage. That's the truth, right? Your brain will force you to do things that are not good for you if you don't like yourself, if you don't value yourself and your time. So if I could just fix that, right, at least my chances of success would be considerably higher, right? Like, and I do have a successful business in a lot of ways, yet I was always focusing on what I wasn't doing right in the business. And turns out, that doesn't help. That makes it worse. And here's the thing. When you take that and you take yourself out of that situation, there's another thing that happens that I realized that I did not see coming. Because as soon as I did that, I was just thinking, oh, well, things will be easier now because at least I don't have to fight myself anymore. That was my logical conclusion based on the science of this. The spiritual side of that was like, I sat down and manifested like, I'm going to make $1,000 this month. And in 3 days, I made $1,000 in sales. And it's like the 10th of the month, okay? Like, I didn't, and it wasn't that I really did anything, I just visualized it and have been working on the self-worth portion of that this entire year. So, you are the creator of your reality. You don't realize it because you're creating what you don't want, because that's what you're focused on. You're focused on the bad, the problems, what you don't want. And you're like, well, I'm trying to fix the problems. You have to you have to focus on the solution, okay? Focus on the solution. Focus on what you're doing right. Because we learn by doing something right and then doing it again and doing it again and doing it again. Like, we don't learn by doing something wrong and then focusing on all the ways we did it wrong. Like, we take that information and learn from that mistake, but we don't focus on it. If you focus on it, you're just going to find new ways to fail. So redirect your energy to what you do want so that your manifestation is actually working for you, not against you. Okay. So your current situation is you're still finding that place in yourself where you are between realms, where you're in the heart space, but still connected to your logic and reason. You're trying to find this place of wisdom, and it's something that you've been practicing, it looks like, for some time. You're finding that middle ground instead of going to extremes where you either think in all logic or all emotion. You're coming to that middle ground, which is very important work, and that has been orchestrated by the universe. There's a reason you had to go down one path or another for a period of time. Maybe you spent a lot of time feeling really skeptical and really focused on logic and reason, and then you went the whole other direction and focused on emotions and feelings and completely neglected any logic in a situation. There's a reason that you did this, and it's to find that middle ground. The universe orchestrated it so that you can see that neither way is good or bad or better. They both have value, and they both need to be taken into account. Okay. Subconsciously here too, your problem and the reason that you're manifesting things so poorly, you're manifesting the wrong thing so greatly, actually, because you're doing a great job at manifesting. You're just manifesting the wrong thing. It's because you feel like subconsciously deep down that you're not supported or loved by the universe. So sit with that, because you are. The universe does support you, and in fact, that's why your manifestation is working so well against you. Because the universe is like, oh, you want more lessons to have to prove to yourself that, like, you're not worth things, so that you start realizing you are worth things. Here's more lessons. Like, that's what the universe is doing. It's responding to your feedback. Because you're focused on, like, oh, I suck in all these ways, or like things are really hard, and it's like, oh, you want more of that? Here you go. Your focus is what tells the universe what you want. If you're focused on how poorly you're doing, you're gonna do poorly more. So, you're focused on your failures, you're gonna fail more. That's how this is gonna go. So, like, the universe is supporting you. I know that it feels like it's not, but the truth is, you have to flip your mindset from I'm doing poorly because the universe and everything else doesn't support me, and all these things are wrong with me, blah, 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 to no, I am worthy, and the universe is fully supporting me and hurting myself right now because I'm focused on the wrong thing. So flip it. It'll completely change your world. I'm not even joking. Okay, so 10 of Wands reversed. Okay, so it seems like you had to let go of a lot of responsibility in the past. There was a lot of heaviness, and this could be like a lot of trauma, or like having situations where you were responsible for other people and you had to leave that situation for whatever reason. It was too heavy, or like maybe you were taking responsibility for other people and their healing when it wasn't your job and it's not your duty, right? Like, yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying, is you had to let go of being responsible for other people's manifestations and spiritual path, is kind of what this looks like to me. But you definitely had to let go of some responsibilities in the past, and that's what's led to this situation. Let's see. Okay, so in the near future, it seems like you're still a little bit caught in this mindset. So we're getting Two of Cups reversed. We want to flip this over. So this coming in negatively could be feeling really lonely, having issues in relationships, feeling like you're with the wrong person, being in a negative karmic relationship that's really painful. So what I'm seeing with this is you're having relationship issues, probably romantic relationship issues specifically, like, and this is part of the universe is there to support you in learning your lessons, and you're manifesting more lessons, right? Because you haven't figured out that you're worth more than this relationship or you're worth more than you're presenting yourself in this relationship. So it might not be that the relationship is unhealthy necessarily, but the way that you presented yourself is creating an unhealthy dynamic because you don't value yourself, right? So this is letting you know that the conflict in your relationships is a manifestation of how you feel about yourself. And this is in the near future. So this is anything from like later today, the next 3 months. So this is a good time to start resolving those deeper self issues that you have, working on your self-worth so that you can start manifesting better things for yourself. Because you probably, at least with what I noticed, is I set up all the channels for good things to happen to me, but the self-worth piece wasn't there. So like the channels were empty. The path was paved, but no one was on the road, it was kind of an issue. And then it's like suddenly the road's working, people are on it because suddenly I value myself more. And that's what's going to happen for you, is you need to take a step back and realize like, hey, these relationship problems that I'm experiencing are coming from a place of not valuing myself. Fix that, it's going to fix this, okay? Whether that's you'll have enough self-worth to have a healthy relationship with someone else, or you'll have enough self-worth to leave a toxic relationship. It will resolve itself if you work on this. What's the fear here? Okay, there's a fear of like losing control. There's a fear of being authentic, a fear of being yourself. And this could be that you've dealt with a narcissist or some very toxic person in the past where you were really limited and someone was really like criticizing you, especially every time you like expressed yourself, and put yourself out there. There was a lot of criticism, maybe even like verbal or physical abuse. So there's a lot of fear about being who you really are and being comfortable with that and not having to walk on eggshells around people. Like, you shouldn't have to feel like you always have to watch everything you say and do all the time with people. That's not healthy. Okay, and I'm getting the sense you're feeling kind of lonely here. There's a lot of withdrawal. So what's coming from other people in your circumstances, there seems to be like a lack of support, or people are drawing away, withdrawing from you, or you're feeling very unsupported or alone. This could be that this is so that you deal with this, right? Because a lot of times we create relationships from this place of not having a good relationship with ourselves, and then we play out those dynamics with them, and then eventually the relationship has to end because it was toxic anyway, and then the issue we have with ourselves has still not been resolved. So like, we need to fix that first. So if people are pulling away, or you're feeling the need to pull away from other people right now, it's because you need to focus on you. You need to focus on you this year. If there's one thing you do this year, focus on you and feeling better about yourself, right? If that means, you like disappear for like 6 months to go find yourself, like, go do it. But yeah, it's like, you got to focus on you. If you feel the need to withdraw, it might be because it's time to hermit, okay? It's time to focus. Okay, I'm seeing the result of your thoughts and actions. So there's a lot of obstacles. There's a lot of spiritual blocks coming up, things appearing out of nowhere and getting in the way. Part of that is Mars retrograde. I know it's very uncomfortable because you have projects, you have plans, you have all these things you want to do, and yet problems keep popping up everywhere. Part of that is Mars retrograde. Part of that is you are creating these roadblocks to keep you from being successful because you don't feel good about yourself. Okay, so like, let's focus in on the self and really building and nurturing that relationship, because that seems to be a root of a lot of what's going on here. You're manifesting these feelings, right? So work on feeling better about who you are, valuing yourself and your time for what you have to give, for who you are as a person, and these blocks will start to kind of disappear, right? Like, that's where this is coming from. This is like subconscious self-sabotage here. Three of Cups. Yeah, and part of that is, the end result is you're refusing to move out of a toxic situation. You're refusing to move out of an emotional space that is stagnant and unproductive. And that's your subconscious trying to thwart what you're trying to get done. And that's why it's so important to like reprogram your subconscious. And a lot of that's like, you feel this way because of the belief systems that you have about yourself in your subconscious. And you're creating a reality that validates that. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. That's what this is. And this is your notice to get your life together and see that, like, you're creating this. You can fix it, right? Oh, I love that. And on the other side, the Lovers. Balance, connection, relationships, love, beauty, like, also being more logical, calculated, having a good understanding of how things work. Hard work, and your hard work paying off. Like, geez, like, come on. And things starting to move quickly. Passion, travel, moving, progressing, romance. Like, put in this work. This work is the most important thing you could do this year. Your investment in yourself will pay endless dividends. You are the most important investment of your life because you are the foundation of everything you do. If your foundation of yourself is wobbly and crumbling, everything you build on top of it will always fail. You have to fix the relationship you have with yourself. And as a note to that, like, I'm a spiritual teacher. I do tarot. I do astrology. A lot of it is to understand yourself and what you're going through and the context of things and how you're sabotaging yourself. Now, going to a spiritual teacher, having a spiritual coach is not a replacement for therapy. We are not doctors, or if we are, as your spiritual teacher, like, and I'm not a doctor, so I'm not a doctor, but even for the spiritual teachers who are also doctors, that space is different, right? Now, if you are in therapy or you're afraid to start therapy, going into the spiritual realm and going to a tarot reader, an astrologer, someone who can help you with those deeper emotional problems in a way that's gentle but also kind of stirs the pot, that's a good time, right? Here's the thing. I really do believe that spirituality, tarot, astrology can actually really improve the quality of your therapy sessions, because they have a tendency to really kind of bring up things that you've been avoiding or overlooking. Like, you know there's a problem and you're trying to find it, and it kind of helps you to kind of see the problem more. And so if you are feeling either stagnant in therapy, or you're feeling like you're not quite ready to start therapy, but you want help working through these deeper issues, like, definitely consider booking a personal reading. And if you're really committed to changing this year and choosing yourself this year and actually addressing the real problem, because I'm sorry to tell you, the real problem is you. Like, and that's okay, because the truth is there's not necessarily anything wrong with you. You're just focused on the wrong things. And the thing that a spiritual teacher can do, especially if they're really good at what they do, is they can focus on resolving some of that, right? And then, of course, I always recommend that my clients also be in therapy with a licensed professional, so that they can actually receive the support and coping tools to deal with the kind of stuff that's going to come up in a tarot or astrology reading. But here's the thing. If you really want to change your life this year, if you really want to make a difference on who you're going to be next year, you have to invest in yourself. You have to. And it's worth it. You're worth it. You are worth investing in who you are and discovering how wonderful you are and all the amazing talents that you have that you're not using because you don't have that good relationship with yourself yet. So that's my spiel. Invest in yourself this year. You're worth it. Okay, so we're going to look at the astrology. So we're going to do a little cosmic check-in. Okay, so this is where things were around the time we started, right? So this is right before 1 p.m. today. We've got the moon conjunct Jupiter in Gemini. Beautiful placement, right? We're getting all that beautiful information from Gemini. We're receiving information about expansion with Jupiter being there, and all of that is being triggered by the moon, allowing that information to come through, right? And with Jupiter retrograde, this is actually, we may be going over old information and seeing it in a new way, which is beautiful. Now, this is making a square to Saturn right now. So there is some limitations, blocks, things getting in the way. If you're feeling triggered at all by what I've said today, if you're feeling like there's some kind of wall, that would be your subconscious beliefs and your self-sabotage trying to keep you from growing because it makes you feel unsafe. Saturn in Pisces has a lot to do with putting restrictions on ourselves because of fear, because it's in our subconscious specifically, especially like fears that are either irrational or sometimes fears that are just overly intense, right? Because there's an acceptable, normal, healthy level of fear for certain situations, and then there is an unreasonable level of fear for situations. And as someone with Saturn and Pisces, I understand this more than most. So if this has made you at all uncomfortable, this could be why. There could be some fear in your subconscious from what you've experienced that you're holding on to, maybe triggering it a little bit. But this is also giving us an opportunity with Jupiter making this square to reconstruct our beliefs in a way that we can expand by using our imagination in a constructive, structured way, right? Because Saturn is fear, but it is also structure. So it is important while Saturn is in Pisces to really focus in on a structured approach to dealing with our subconscious. And with this square to Jupiter, it is even more reinforcing that we need new information in order to expand our consciousness, right? And to, maybe change or adjust our belief systems in a healthy way. But this tension is also going to create challenges, right? And this can be challenges in relationships, especially with Venus conjunct Saturn. This is a time where we may start to see that the relationships we're in, either romantically or with women specifically, could be telling us that we're in an unhealthy dynamic or aligned with someone who doesn't have values that align with ours. So that's something to take into consideration. Is what your values are and how they're being affected by this aspect. So this is a really it's a difficult aspect as it's a square, but you can put it to use and put it to work because squares inspire action. So take the time to maybe reprogram your subconscious with the things that you actually value so that you can actually get more of what you want in your life. So beautiful opportunities, definitely take advantage. Of course, we still have this Mars-Pluto opposition going on right now, which is super intense. And so there's a lot of intensity, but this is a really great time to really transform our emotional security and that deeper emotional foundation, because when Mars and Pluto are both ruled by Scorpio, and Scorpio is transformation, and Mars is in the sign of Cancer, which is the home, and it's your emotional foundation that you inherited from your mother and your family. So it's a great time to upgrade that while Mars is going retrograde. In opposition to Pluto. Of course, this may cause a lot of power struggles in your relationships, especially with family or friends, because Cancer is family and Aquarius is your friends. So if you are struggling in those areas, or you're having power struggles in those areas, don't be surprised, or over those things, because it depends on where it's falling in your chart, where you're actually going to see this come up for you. So you might not actually be having a power struggle with a family member, but you could have a power struggle that's related to family that you're having, with your spouse or with yourself. It really depends. But let's look at the energy for tomorrow. I cast the chart for 12 a.m. for tomorrow. Okay, so tomorrow is 1/1/1 of 2025. Beautiful creative energy with that, right? It's a 3-day. Great day for creativity and expression. So the moon will have moved past Jupiter by midnight tonight. So let's see, and it will have already finished that square to Saturn. So around midnight tonight, you may be feeling a little bit of that extra tension, especially about 4 hours before midnight. So around 8 o'clock p.m. might be especially tense in terms of issues of your belief systems and fears and information and growth that's occurring there. So keep that in mind. Now, it looks like the next degree that the moon is going to hit is at 21 degrees. So we're going to start moving this forward a couple hours to get to that 21 degrees. And as you can see, the moon is going to make an inconjunction to the sun at this time, around 6 a.m. So there's going to be some imbalances between our ego and its need for reality, structure, outer security, and our emotional need for new information, right? For connecting with other people in our community, for our ability to speak and use our voice. All of that's being activated, but it's a little out of balance with the ego. This is also making a beautiful trine to Black Moon Lilith, which is letting us know that this rebelliousness that we've been feeling in relationships, and when it comes to compromise and fairness in our relationships, is being upped, right? It's being triggered. So we've been feeling this a lot with Black Moon Lilith moving through Libra, especially with the Libra eclipse that we had. But the moon is reactivating all those themes. So if you're feeling rebellious, if you're feeling like, I'm going to do what I want, I deserve to be treated fairly, and if I'm not being treated fairly, I'm going to rise up and rebel. That would be this. So if you wake up feeling feisty at 6 a.m. tomorrow, this is why. It is going to move into a little semi-sextile with Uranus, which is really going to instigate that as well. I'll move this. And that's going to be around 10 a.m. when that happens. But it's not a real severe aspect, so I wouldn't be really that concerned about it. It's a semi-sextile, very easy. It gives us some opportunities to kind of break free of things that have been limiting us. So this is a really good time to get epiphanies, inspiration of breaking out of stuff that is out of alignment with our values with Uranus in Taurus, by receiving new information, right? All right. So let's go further ahead in the day. And we've got, go an hour back, around 5 p.m. tomorrow, the moon is going to make a square to Neptune and the nodes, and be in a T-square. So there's going to be a lot of tension on all this information you've been gathering, all these downloads you've been getting, lots of inner emotional attention around that. So our emotional spaces are going to be kind of stressed around 5 p.m. tomorrow as we're getting all this information. Of course, this is when the fair is going to be ending for me, but that's probably because I'm going to have spent a very long day giving readings and healings and stuff tomorrow, so I'm going to be ready to go home. Even though I love doing this work, I really do. It takes a lot of emotional effort on my part, which is good and bad. That's part of the value that I give. And that's why I got charged so much for it, because it does drain me of my emotional energy that I then can give to myself. So I have to go recharge and give to myself before I can go and give again. So this, for most people, though, when we're looking at this, like, one, there's going to be a lot of tension about the information we're receiving, especially in terms of our cosmic destiny, because it's squaring the nodes, right? So there's going to be a lot of tension coming from our past lives and the life that we're trying to create this time around, all the things that we're trying to learn, right? Especially because the nodes are in Pisces at this point. Woo. So we're moving into that energy of that beautiful Pisces energy. We're really trying to move towards spirituality, upgrading the subconscious, move into our imagination, move into a place of compassion. But this can also be a place of confusion and fear and illness, because Neptune and Pisces are very associated with all of those things. Part of the spiritual path is confusion a lot of times. Especially because a lot of times you're dealing with the subconscious and it's kind of clouding your thinking from seeing things clearly in order to keep you safe until you can, like, break through those obstacles. So all this information we're going to be receiving over the next day, we might get to about 5 p.m. and there's going to be a lot of inner tension with our subconscious around the things that we've learned. So if for some reason tomorrow you find yourself listening to this or thinking about this podcast or live or whatever, and you find yourself thinking that I'm absolutely full of BS and I don't know what I'm talking about, this could be why. It's like your subconscious might be fighting you. So take notice that if you're starting to feel like you don't have really good manifesting abilities, or you're really struggling with believing in your soul path and reprogramming your subconscious and learning new information and becoming a new version of yourself, if you're struggling with all of those ideas tomorrow and feeling a lot of inner tension and feeling like your emotional space is really stressed out and you're having a hard time, like, grounding all that energy, take time to ground, for one, and realize that you might be fighting your subconscious in that moment, and it might be trying to protect you from change, because change is scary because it's the unknown. And Neptune isn't so much the unknown as it is all things. So it's partly the unknown. You could say it's the unknown. So there's a lot of fear around that. So just be gentle with yourself tomorrow. So around before 5 o'clock tomorrow, take some time to ground. You'll feel better. But yeah, because that's pretty nasty. And it is making the semi-sextile to Mars at the same time. So all this work that we are being, asked to do with our subconscious and our emotional foundations and kind of working on our deeper emotional self, all that work that's being like brought up and stirring up a lot of trauma and stuff in our emotional space is giving us the opportunity to use this new information to work on healing that. So, take some time to think about it. All right, next we got, again, later, is it's going to complete that square around 9 p.m. to the node. So this is where you can really take some action on your cosmic destiny after it's moved off of Neptune. You still might be feeling quite a bit of this inner tension, though, especially because it's going to come in here to oppose Mercury and in conjunct Pluto. So if you have some trauma or deeper, darker stuff in your subconscious, it's going to trigger that. So be aware if you're feeling really triggered, that's why. So there might be some stuff that's coming up, especially around 9 p.m. as it's getting closer and closer to Pluto. And it will touch Pluto right around midnight. So definitely be gentle with yourself tomorrow, especially in the evening hours, because there's going to be a lot of inner tension coming up. So take care of yourself. Make sure you have like a self-care plan in place. Like take a bath or something. Something soothing. Because the energy's kind of difficult in the evening. All right. But yeah, this one longer than expected. I was trying to do 30 minutes, ended up an hour, but it's all good. Anyway, so thank you for showing up. Thank you for coming to the Daily Destiny download. I really appreciate any interaction. I've definitely seen a couple likes and gotten some feedback from some of my clients, and it's been really positive. So thank you guys. I really appreciate you. And I really am glad that you guys are getting value out of this live that I'm doing. So I'm planning on continuing doing it at this point. Probably, I don't know how long I'll continue this live. We'll see. But I'm definitely planning on doing it for some time, because I've gotten really good feedback on it, and that's really important because this is meant to provide value to you. So definitely, if you have any suggestions for the live, if you want to learn more about astrology, you can always contact me. You can message me on Facebook, although I am getting a lot of scammers on Facebook, so it would be better if you just emailed me directly at sintadanu26@gmail.com. And you can always, of course, check out my website, sintadanu.com, where you can learn more about astrology, the services I offer. You can also see about classes, upcoming events, all kinds of other stuff. And I need to do some updating on the website, but because I do all of that myself right now, so it's a lot. So sometimes I get a little behind on the website stuff. But yeah, so definitely check that out. Thank you so much for coming today. Thank you for choosing yourself and choosing to take some time to really sit with the energies of the day and prepare for tomorrow. And I will be back again, not tomorrow, because tomorrow I'm not doing the live, because I will be at the Wolf Moon Market when this live normally happens. And unfortunately, I haven't been able to pre-record an episode, so I'm probably just going to skip tomorrow. But I will be back on Sunday. At least that's the plan. So I will see you guys on Sunday around at 1 p.m. And yeah, so see you at the next Daily Destiny download. You guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.